Hello, family. How's everybody doing today? Hope everyone is doing fine. Yes, talk about it. Napoleon. He is now the new supervisor of Thornton Township. Congratulations to Napoleon Harris. I know that he will do a great job. I just feel like he will do a great job along with the new trustees, Mary, Yvonne, Valerie Stubbs, all of them. Yes. Just congratulations to that whole team. And I know that they will do a great job. And Tiffany sent a message. I was wondering what I read it, but now it makes a lot of sense, family. And we're going to talk about that. And in Diddy's case, we now know what the Punisher looks like. Yes, the escort, the Punisher. We finally have a face to the name. And on top of that, Megan Thee Stallion, she done got on her social media and basically crashed out about the Tory Lane situation and the new evidence, information, and all that. So y'all already know what we got to do. Let's get right on into it, family. A hot mess. Yes, a hot mess. Y'all already know what we got to do. It's a hot mess. Let me see y'all in the chat too. Let me see y'all in the chat. We're gonna get right on into it. I'm gonna give some shout outs to everyone. But I appreciate y'all tuning in tonight for real. And we're gonna break it down. We finally got a face to the Punisher. Yes. Because I wanted to know who he was, definitely. Now we know. And how's everybody doing this evening? I was a little late here. Sorry about that, because I had told y'all, like, if I'm not on by 7, then I'm not coming on. But I appreciate y'all. I know y'all say, girl, you always about 10, 15 minutes late. So, yeah, we already know. Yo, shout out to Yo, Foxy, 2 Roxy 3. Shout out. Hello to everyone. Yes, Kenneth Dawkins, hello in the house. Christopher Oliver, hello. Saint Sinner in the house. Jamal Killings, M. Mac in the house. Yes. Kenya Brown in the house. Clay G. Beats in the house. What's up, Clay G. Beats? Y'all check out Clay G. Beats channel as well. He be rocking over there with the music and everything. Good content too. Made in Texas. What's going on? What's going on? Jim C in the house. Tidra Owens in the house. Thank y'all so much. Salute to our moderator and Matt. Yes, thank y'all. And I let me say this right quick because I did see in the comment section, if y'all go in the comment section, there's a couple of people that was asking about certain moderators. And please understand that moderators come in on content creators channel because the content creator has picked that person kind of to moderate their channel while they're talking, because we can't always look at the chat and we don't know what's going on sometimes in the chat. And if anything disrespectful, they catch it, and they have hospitality as well. So now moderators don't always be in the chat. And understand, my moderators, the way we do it, we have old school moderators. We pick them like that, okay? And if you don't see a moderator in a while, that don't mean something is wrong. They doing this out of the goodness of their heart, you see? And so if you don't see them in a while, maybe they have something to do. And then some people take a break from social media for about 2-3 months, and then they come back. But when they come back, their wrench is always there. Okay? So I just wanted people to know that, because I noticed in this last one, if y'all go back and look at the last video I did, y'all will see a lot of people asking questions about the moderators. Where are they? What are they? Now, If anything is wrong with the moderators, they'll let me know if it's drastically, and that if they want me to let the public know, I will. Other than that, everything is confidential with my moderators. But do understand that moderators do this out of the goodness of their heart, and they come in when they can. Okay. And even if something was wrong with me and a moderator, the public would never know it. I'm just saying. What goes on with them is go on with them. You see what I'm saying? But what I can say is all my moderators are still here on this channel. And sometimes they come in and out. Sometimes it might be a couple of months before you see one. But they're still here. It's a lot of y'all probably don't know that it's some more moderators. But because they have took off or took a break or whatever they're going to do, it's all good. But when they come back, their rent will still be working the same. Okay. So we got that out the way. Let me do a shout out again. Kendelar, shout out. Yes. Okay, so let's get right on down to it, because I'm really waiting to get to the Punisher, but I do want to talk about old Tiffany here, because Tiffany did try to send an old slick message, okay? And I now it makes sense. Napoleon was sworn in yesterday, and he replaced Tiffany Henyard. Yes, we got up at that door, and the residents got up at that door. Now, where was this lady at, family? Can anybody tell me where was this lady at when Napoleon was sworn in? This is the time we needed to hear her song. It's been a long time coming, and a change has come. Y'all remember when she stood up there begging for them 1K, begging for that 8K, for a job that she did not do. And then she got up there because she was trying to con them trustees to give her 1K or 8K. She broke out with the Sam Cooke, and a change gonna come. Well, see, we said we didn't want to hear it then. I rolled her bumper about it then because that song didn't fit for begging, okay? But now that song should have been sung, she was nowhere to be found. Why is that? Can anybody tell me why is that? And I know a change has come. No, we didn't hear it. We didn't hear it at all. You know why? Because Napoleon didn't have that 1K check. He ain't going to give her that 8K check. She can that. That's gone. Anyway, family, let's get M. Mac laughing, Jamal Killings laughing. Foxy to Roxy laughing. The Real Rap Show laughing. What's going on? Yes, y'all. Tune in to the Real Rap Show as well. Real Rap Show, you are doing a great job over there. Got your boots on the ground at the Diddy trial. He be outside, y'all. He showed footage that nobody really is showing for real. And I like to see the outside of the people who are standing outside, and then they're getting footage and all that. And he get a perspective, and he listened to different people. And I saw you in your last one, the Real Rap Show, where I saw Gene Deal was in the house. Gene Deal had one. I said, what? Yes, Rap Show. I was checking you out. Okay. So, yes. Okay, you on that Diddy case. Okay. Mike, thank you so much for your generous donation. It's greatly appreciated. Your generosity is greatly appreciated. Yes. He was, yeah. So y'all check him out, because he do the Real Rap Show. He show footage, different footage, because y'all remember I was showing y'all about the man who was swinging them keys at the police. That was the Real Rap Show, had that footage and everything like that. Yes. But you know what? The Real Rap Show, when I saw your footage on that with the guy swinging the key, and then I saw that you were still doing some footage, and then some man said, it was a white man. He said, you asked him, you said, hey, shout out your channel. He said, okay. And he turned to the Real Rap Show. He said, oh, this is a good looking man. Boy, did I not side eye that man there. I wanted to take the Real Rap Show camera and just say, we done. Let me go somewhere else. This man, you know what? I told you to shout out your channel. I didn't ask you to give no type of what I got on, all that. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, family. Yes. Okay. But yes, this lady here, why was she not there? She sure enough ain't gonna get that 1K now. No, she not getting it. She not getting it. Yes, but that, and they scraped Tiffany name off. They scraped it clean off. That Tiffany Henyard is gone. Yes. In the dumpster where it belongs. Now, Napoleon walked in that family with termination papers. Yes, he walked in there with everybody termination papers. See, we had already said that Napoleon ain't gonna be playing with nobody around this camp. Yes, so he first walked up in there and he fired that lawyers that Tiffany had, yeah, but they weren't working for the township, not to me anyway. But he walked in there, fired the law firm. Yeah. In the first action as supervisor, Harris appointed Oderson, Murphy, Frazier, and McGraw law firm to replace Delgado law firm group. What? And representing the township. They done. He gave them their papers. Walking. He walked in there. Soon he got sworn in. And when he did that, he said, okay, here go L, your termination papers, your termination papers, your termination papers. We don't need your service anymore. You've been replaced. And he gonna be replacing a lot more people too. But anyway, that's what he did. He did it at a public meeting. And they had down there that Vivian Allen. She spoke and she told everybody thank you. She was very thankful for the new administration and for promising to lead with transparency and to fix what has been broken. Yes, because a lot has been broken around that camp. But that's basically what it was. And they were just he also congratulated Carmen and all of them as well as they walked out of the door. Christopher Gonzalez, he's still there, but the point is he did give a heartfelt message to the trustees. Now, Tiffany, she had a message, and I was wondering about that message because I was like, she did it on Mother's Day. Now, don't y'all remember that on Mother's Day she kept saying, I'm gonna do a food giveaway for Mother's Day. What happened to that food giveaway, family, that she was supposed to been doing? I'll wait. Because it never did happen. She did that trifling Easter egg hunt event. And then she kept saying, and she did that without approval because the board said she was not supposed to do any more events. So she kept saying, Mother's Day, I'm going to do another food giveaway. She had the date down and everything. But it didn't happen. Why is that? I tell you why is that. Most likely because Napoleon stopped it. Yes, he had done changed the keys. She realized that her credit card don't work, decline. Yeah, and then she tried to get up in that warehouse. Her keys wasn't working. None of that. See, I knew it was something going on. The reason why Tiffany never did that Mother's Day giveaway. Foxy too, Roxy, you know about that. You in the area too, aren't you? Yes, Jamal Killings rejected. That's what it was, because y'all remember she was bragging. She was not supposed to do that Easter event, but she did it anyway, right? And then on top of that, she kept on bragging about the Mother's Day. Oh, yeah, I'm going to throw some food. I'm going to have you more food boxes for Mother's Day and all that. And then it never happened. She never said anything. She didn't even put up a post that they're not having it. It's canceled. None of that. Most likely because, see, that was supposed to have been May 10th. Y'all know Napoleon just got in there yesterday. May 19th. So he was already preparing. I bet you. It was locks on that warehouse where her trifling Tiffany food boxes is at. That credit card, she thought it was going to swipe. Nope, decline. And then most likely, Keith. Yes, most likely Keith couldn't even get in the pantry. Yes, all that's locked. Change the locks. because Napoleon had the authority to do that because he was elected. And they was already mad about Tiffany doing that Easter event without approval. They told her not to do it. She did it anyway. So I bet they said, okay, she thinks she gonna do a Mother's Day. Just wait until she get ready to come in here and try to get the food boxes. Keith Price, try to go into the pantry, try to grab some food, and watch how they locked out. That's exactly what it was given. And then, family, you'll see here, she did an old Mother's Day post. See, I was wondering. I said, well, Tiffany did a Mother's Day post, but then she didn't do her Mother's Day food giveaway. Now, she gonna put it like she was sending everybody a Mother's Day. She was sending all the mothers of the world a nice message of Happy Mother's Day. That ain't what this got. This right here, she was venting. She was mad. She was upset. I said, that's what it is. I said, she always talking about the weight is on my shoulder. Even though the weight is on your shoulders. No, sister, ain't no weight on our shoulders because the FBI don't have a subpoena stopped up on top of our head. They got you. Okay, so don't be trying to bring us that we feel how you feel. No, baby, we ain't devious like that. We ain't feeling nothing you feeling. A lot of us do not have the FBI on top of our head with stacks and stacks and stacks of subpoenas. Okay, that's first off. That's first off. Decline. The Real Rap Show said. Jamal Killer said rejected. Yes. I knew it was something. Yeah, because she thought her and Keith Price gonna go in there and debo that stuff the way they deboed it on Easter, and it didn't work out. We never did see the food giveaway. That's because Napoleon about locked it up. He was proactive and locked it up. That's what it's giving. Yes, Napoleon said it won't be no Easter, no Mother's Day giveaway this time, sister. Watch him roast that hen. And that's exactly what he did. Yeah. But see, he tricked Tiffany and her funky flunkies. Yes, her funky flunkies ran up in there, thought they were going to get in that food pantry. Nah, they weren't able to do it. But this is what Tiffany said, y'all. She said, Happy Mother's Day to all the beautiful, strong, compassionate, educated, loving, and committed moms out there. Yeah. But that excludes you. Because what you putting down at the township and the village for 4 years, you ain't none of the above. But anyway, we'll go ahead on. You are the heartbeat of our community. Well, if that was the heartbeat of the community, why you was dogging them and taking their money and going on lavish trips and dogging them? Anyway, let me go and read this thing. The glue that holds everything together, and I need you to know this. They're not like us. They simply aren't. You see how Tiffany was venting. She trying to say they not like us. And see, she didn't want to point out Napoleon no more because now he got, he in that township. Anyway, she said, thank you for never giving up. Even when it felt like the weight of the world was on your shoulders. Your light is powerful, so keep shining. And when life tries to dim that light, just remember to straighten your crown and keep on going. Tiffany was heartbroken because she couldn't get up in that damn warehouse. That's all this is. I said, that's the message right there. She was trying to tell us, ain't gonna be no more food, y'all. I can't get into the food pantry. Napoleon has locked me out and my credit cards has now declined. And my over $400,000 a year job is gone. So now the weight is strong, but they not like us. What? Anyway. Yeah, so she was heartbroken. She was heartbroken because she couldn't get up in there. If Tiffany was able to get that food away, she wouldn't have wrote no Mother's Day message. She ain't write no Easter message. She ain't write no Christmas message. She ain't write no Thanksgiving message. No. She gonna write this here. She always trying to post something when her feelings done got hurt. Or when things don't go her way. And she'll try to make it like she the best thing in the world, but she ain't. Basically, this message was to tell Napoleon, you ain't hurting me by locking no damn warehouse. You ain't hurting me by locking up the pantry. Mm-hmm. That's basically what that message is. Yeah, I got key locks in the door. Yes. Yeah. Now, move on, but congratulations to Napoleon. We really congratulate Napoleon. Now, Megan done had a pure D breakdown around this joint. She on social media and she's mad because Tory Lane fans and a lot of other people who are not fans are talking about the new evidence that Tory Lane's lawyers or representatives have come up with. Mm-hmm. So now I don't know if she's shaking in her boots or what it is, because you're supposed to just ignore people. If you good, you good. You don't have to worry about it. You don't have to get on social media. You don't have to say nothing. Just let it roll, okay? Because the representative said that they had already contacted Megan and her team, telling them about this new evidence that they have, okay? So all Megan needs to do is just keep it quiet. But no, for some reason, she crashed out a little bit, okay? And she's telling everybody, leave me alone. You a effing demon, okay? Megan is mad, okay? She got up there and done crashed out. Then she says, Megan Thee Stallion is fighting back at Tory Lane's fans who still don't believe that she was pop-powed by him. It's not that don't nobody believe that she was pop-powed by him. It's just that the evidence of his representative and everybody just keep forking out, and things do smell a little stank, okay? We just need to know what it is, okay? Then your friend got up there, your homegirl, ex-homegirl got up there and plead the fifth, okay? Then when she plead the fifth, why she need the fifth if she ain't do nothing wrong? The fifth is supposed to keep you from incriminating yourself. So why would she have to do that if she's just a witness? So Megan, don't get mad that everything looked like stank, okay? Then Megan uploaded on his fans TikTok and everything. And at what point are y'all gonna stop making me have to relive being powed by Tory? At what point are Tory and y'all fans gonna stop lying? Like, how much is the check to keep harassing me? Why is this happening every day? Now I'm gonna tell you right now, Megan, a little Megan. I say that because you way younger than my kids. Okay, let me tell you like this. Ain't nobody paid Cafe nothing. Now I know she didn't specifically point out me and nothing like that, but she did say how much are y'all getting paid to basically talk about this matter. Now I talked about it because Tory representative came out after he was poked 14 times, and they said that they had been contacted. I let y'all hear it. I ain't got to go through all that, okay? I really don't feel like I should explain to children, but I'm talking about Megan, but because that I have to do this to tell y'all what's going on, I'm explaining it, okay? But Megan is mad at the wrong people. Don't get mad at us. Get mad at the evidence. The evidence is the things that keep coming up. See, that's why I say people want to argue against the evidence. You can't argue against the evidence. If the evidence say it's here, it's here. You can't look at the evidence and say, nah, that evidence wrong. You just can't do it. Whether you like it or nothing. And then she said, why is this happening every day? She talking about people running their mouth, okay? Then she says, Megan Thee Stallion continued. 1 minute him, y'all said I was never powed. Now y'all letting him play in y'all face again. And I say I was powed, but it wasn't him. Oh, okay. I'm sick of this shoot. Leave me the F alone. Okay? Megan added, he ain't dare get on that stand and deny he powed me. And that was his choice because he knows he did that. Y'all get up out of here, blogs and all, or bots, or whoever y'all are, okay? Why in the F would me, Megan Thee Stallion, have to lie on this MF about powering me? Well, Megan done crashed out a little bit. Russ B, hello. Thank you so much for your generous donation. Your generous donation is greatly appreciated. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Okay. Well, my thing is, Megan mad at the wrong people. Okay. And then I'm gonna tell y'all like this. Yes, model stay on air in the house, crashing out. It looking like, ain't it? Yes. But my thing is, y'all see, I'm gonna tell you, this is just because y'all know what my job has been over 30-something years. My thing is, if you crash out on the air like this, and you telling people that ain't even really bothering you, they just talking about the new evidence, and you crash out, leave me the F alone. What the F, y'all some demons, y'all this, okay. So when Tory representative contacted Megan and told her that they have new evidence, did the crash out happen like that? Because now they are the ones saying that something happened to Tory, not us now. They saying it. That we want to let y'all know that right when we sent this to the teams and everybody, we sent it to everybody, a couple of days or a week later, he was poked 14 times. See, sometimes you have to watch when you're in the middle of something like this, how you crash out. Because people would say, well, damn, she crashed out like this on the public fans. I wonder what was she acting like when she heard or read what the representative sent them about new evidence. Mm-hmm. Okay. I'm just giving. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. You know what I'm saying? She done crashed out on that internet po thing. Now, let's get right on to it. Let me see what y'all saying. What's up, Barbara Penn? Yes. Thank y'all all for joining. Thank y'all all for joining today. Thank you so much. Now, let's get right on into this man right here, because he was the assistant, right? And then after he finished testifying, that's when we find out who the Punisher is. Because we kept talking about that. I wonder who is the Punisher. I wouldn't even want to be in the room with the Punisher. But anyway, this is the assistant. Okay. That's the Punisher family. Yes, that is the Punisher. That is the escort, the Punisher. Yeah, he's pretty spiffy though, I must say. Yeah. But anyway, family. They said that today they did not see anyone at the time in the courtroom but Diddy's sister. And I don't know if the Real Rap Show is in here. We're gonna get to the Punisher's statement and all that. But I don't know if the Real Rap Show is in here, because I know he was outside. But they were saying today the only one that showed up was Diddy's sister. Okay. And I do know that she's always stay out the spotlight, But I do know this is the time that Diddy's girls, his twins, is they prom and they're getting ready for graduation and things like that. So maybe his mom and all of them are, being with the two twins, because dad's not there. So maybe the brothers, the mother, and the caretaker of the two twins are making sure that they did the prom. They had on some beautiful dresses. So they did the prom, but now they're getting ready for graduation, and things like that. So maybe that's why. And I guess the mom probably told the sister, hey, somebody needs to be there. And the sister is there. And maybe she didn't have to tell her to be there. She's just there. but they just said that it was only her in there that they saw at that time. Okay. Um, as y'all will see right there, they said it was Diddy's sister in the courtroom today. That's his sister. There go Gene Deal. Gene Deal. Now I seen Gene Deal was Diddy's bodyguard early on, early on. And he do be on the Art of Dialogue, and he has his own YouTube channel, and he tell a lot of stories about Diddy, Well, he attended today. He wasn't a witness or anything like that. He just went, I guess, so Diddy could see him there, that, yeah, I'm here because Gene Deal said Diddy has put him through a whole bunch, trying to get people to shut him up and all that type of stuff. Allegedly, that's what he say now. But he attended. Yeah. And this was, I got off of the Real Rap Show's channel that Gene Deal had arrived. Christopher Oliver, how you doing? Thank you for joining us today. Thank you so much. Thank you. Now, these are some of the escorts as well, family. Yes. And they released the photos of them, right? And y'all gonna see a lot more, but they released the photos of some of them. Okay, now let's get on to what they saying. Okay, so y'all can see it says Diddy alleged S-workers have finally been unmasked as 2 weeks of testimony gets underway in the music mogul federal racketeering and ST trial in New York. On Monday, prosecutors released a document dumped of exhibits entered into trial evidence, dropping an avalanche of photos and other information. Some of the pics show the face of the S-workers Diddy allegedly hired to be transported across state lines for FOs with his significant other, including Cassie. Honey, a hot mess. Okay, so they also said the feds defined a FO as Diddy, a girlfriend, and a male S-worker engaging in marathon, Hank Pank sessions that were often recorded by the Bad Boys record CEO inside hotel rooms. Prosecutors said Diddy forced or coerced his girlfriend into participating in the FOs. Okay, so yeah, they unmasked them today. Now this is one of them, family. Yes, that's one of them. That's Jonathan. Yes. That's old Jonathan there. So that's one of them. Check out the snapshots of male escorts whose images were shown on monitor provided to each of the 12 jurors during Cassie's testimony last week. Cassie was able to identify some of the escorts while not remembering the name of others. So that's one of them, family. Now, this right here, this is Jake. Jake, family, was in the hotel room when Diddy ran in that hallway with that towel on and making Cassie come back up in that room. Okay. Oh, Jake here was in there. That's the escort that was in the room that day. Yeah, that's him. Kendall R said Gene Deal had a shack. Yes. But he was in the room. That's the one who was in the room with Diddy and Cassie when Cassie tried to sneak up out that room and put her shoes on at the elevator. Oh, yeah, old Jake there. Yeah. Now, they said that Cassie was picking these men. So far, she wasn't doing a bad job with the lookings. Okay. Anyway, family. Uh, Other S workers pictured included a Los Angeles-based white man named Jake, a Miami-based black man named Craig, a New York-based black man named Brian on Craigslist, and a white man named Skylar featured on the companion service, Cowboys for Angels. So he was on the Cowboys of Angels. Yeah, so now y'all will see some of their play toys that Diddy and Cassie was picking out. There's some of their play toys there. That's just a little bit of they play toys, okay? They say it's a lot more. And y'all know we got about 6.5 weeks left to see the rest of their play toys, but that's them. So now we got a face to the name. Now, let's start with this, and then they will, after his testimony, then you'll hear from the Punisher. Okay? He is the assistant. Okay? So now, the assistant David James, an assistant for Sean Diddy Combs from 2007 to 2009, testified he did not personally observe physical violence between Combs and Cassie, but heard them argue about her career more than once. In those arguments, she would express a desire to branch out more into modeling and acting, but Combs would tell her she had to focus on her music career. James testified. Okay. James, a former assistant to Sean Combs, testified that he was on the computer at Combs' home one night when Combs was out at a club with Cassie, another assistant and security. As soon as he entered the door, he beelined straight for me and pulled up the computer's search history. James said Combs told him that someone had written a blog post lying about him hitting Cassie, and he wanted to see if James had written it, the former assistant testified. James said he did not see Cassie that night, but 2 days later, Combs directed him to bring her food at a nearby hotel. When James brought the food to Cassie's room, he was surprised to see a member of Combs' staff answer the door instead of Cassie herself. She stayed at the hotel for about a week, he testified. So y'all remember when Cassie was saying, when Diddy would windmill on her, he told her to go out the back door or something and sent the security with her and made her go into a hotel and stay in that hotel until she healed up, So he said that he was directed to take Cassie food during that time, but he was shocked to see that Cassie didn't open the door. One of Sean Combs' employees answered that door, like wouldn't let him see Cassie. So he just gave the food and went on about his business. Now, this is what he said. When asked if Combs would stay alone when he traveled, James said, "I don't think Mr. Combs ever stayed alone while he worked for Combs." James said typically Cassie would stay with Combs, but there were other women as well, James said. So it just seemed like Diddy didn't want to be alone. If he didn't have Cassie with him, he'll have another woman with him or a couple of women with him. Dave James, a former assistant for Sean Combs, testified he often set up hotel rooms for Combs. If Combs was staying in New York, his favorite hotel was the Trump International, James said. James said he would set up things for Combs before his arrival. including clothing, his toiletry bags, medicine bag, food, and drinks. He said he will organize a collection of about 40 products, mostly skincare, for Combs in the hotel bathroom. The medicine bag typically carried between 25 and 30 pill bottles, which include X and, P Perca, James said some bottles were unmarked. He said, wow, 25 to 30 bottles of pills. Combs security always carried Combs' Louis Vuitton bag, which held personal items and typically $10,000 or more in cash. Wow. That's the Punisher. He coming up. Yes. Yes, the Punisher. He was hired for up to 12 FOs. Now, this is some of the pictures that they showed when the assistants was talking about that Comb have, different bottles. Well, this is some of the pictures that they said when they went into his hotel, when they arrested him and things like that. Okay, so it just say jaw-dropping new Diddy photos show how rapper prepared for hotel FOs. Okay, is that the pink Tootsie? Is that the? I'm just asking. They said the stuff is pink, but is the rap pink too? I don't know. Anyway, family, let me see what y'all saying. Cooking with Frank. Salute, salute, salute. Thank you so much for your generosity. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you so much. Yes. Who else am I missing? I said Christopher. Cheryl Day. Salute, salute, Cheryl Day. Shanita, hello. She in the house too. Joshua 991, thank you. Hello. Thank all of y'all for coming in. Barbara Penn, thank you. Okay. So hey family, let's get back to this because I want y'all to hear about the Punisher. The assistant for Diddy Combs, he was his assistant for 2007 to 2009. Testified he saw Combs take drugs and give them to his friends. On a couple occasions, James procured drugs for Combs' friend, he testified. Now, remind y'all, James has immunity, okay? Because they knew that in order for him to get up there and testify against Diddy, he would have to incriminate himself because it's a lot of things in here he did willingly and for Diddy. And it's like he was transporting the drugs too. Okay, so he does have immunity. And they're going to ask him about that too. He's going to try to play it off, but he do have it. Anyway, a person called One Stop often bought the drugs to Combs, James said. James understood Combs often took Percocet while he was operating his business and preferred to take X at night, he said. So he's saying that Diddy preferred in the daytime to take the P-set, and then at nighttime, when he getting loose, he preferred his X. Okay. David James, Sean Diddy's former assistant, is detailing several occasions where he said he supplied Combs' friend with that street candy. On a trip with Combs to St. Porres, a friend of Combs texted James asking him to get that cocaine. He testified. James said he arranged for the cocaine for Combs' friend, but said Combs didn't ask him to do it. He said he assumed he had to. Another occasion during a party in Los Angeles, James recalled how Combs sent him back to the house to get X for his friend. James said he went back to Combs' house to get the X from Combs' medicine bag and brought it back to the party. So Diddy was at a party, and I guess some people wanted some X, or Diddy done ran out of X, and he had the assistant to go run to the house and get more X. Okay, and he did it. His former assistants testified about an incident when one of Combs' his Cartier bracelet went missing. And then when that went missing, his Cartier, that's the proper Cartier bracelet went missing, prompting his security to search through all of his and his then girlfriend belongings. James said he felt he couldn't refuse the search. On 2 other occasions when Combs' possessions went missing, James had to take a lie detective test administered by a man who claimed to have formerly worked for the FBI. He testified. It was very intimidating, he said. On both occasions, James' results showed no discrepancies, he said. James said one of Combs' security agents told him that another former employee, Capricorn Clark, also had to take the lie detective test previously. So if Diddy stuff come up missing, he make you take lie detective test. Now, what the assistant ain't said is, has anybody ever failed the lie detective test? And what happens if you do fail the lie detective test? Yeah, we know most likely you'll be terminated, but is that all? I mean, we just asking a question. Darlene Chestnut in the house. Darlene Chestnut in the house. Hello, thank you so much for your generous. Yes, yes, it's Cartier Saint Center. Cartier. Yes, that's how the French say it, right? Cartier bracelet of Diddy's. But anyway, Diddy was had everybody hooked up to that lie detective test. Yes. Just like they hooked up to the sex belts, allegedly, they hooked up to the lie detective test. Yes. Cooking with Frank, about to rewind to the beginning and take a walk. Okay, all right. All right, Cooking with Frank. Thank you so much for dropping in. Thank you so much. Yes, thank you so much. Yes, Saint Center. Yes, you know they get real proper with it. Cartier. Yeah, okay. Well, he wasn't playing about none of that. He ain't playing. He said Diddy ain't playing about nothing up in there. Okay, you gonna do a lie detective test, and you gonna get drilled. You gonna get drilled by if something come up missing around Diddy camp. You getting drilled. He don't care who you are. James testified about an occasion when he went with Combs' security guard to a dinner to get food for Combs and the staff. When they got there, the security guard saw Combs' rival, Suge Knight, and approached him. They talked briefly before the guard and James went inside to order. When they went back to Combs' house, Combs and Cassie were outside the house arguing. Cassie looked like she had been crying. Combs then ordered James to drive him and the security guard back to the diner to look for Suge Knight, he said. Combs sat in the back seat with 3 handguns in his lap, James testified. Knight was gone when they got back to the restaurant, James said. James said he was shook by the incident. Oh, yeah, I know James was shook. Did y'all see James' picture when we first started? I showed y'all him. He ain't built for this type of stuff, okay? No, he not built for that type of activity. James just want to set out the pills and the clothes and make sure that the eggs look right and make sure that the bed is made up. He ain't built to go out there with no guns and trying to challenge no Suge Knight. Oh, yes. He was shook to the core. I know he was. Well, okay. Then Let me see about this. But yeah, I know James was scared. James was like, no, wait a minute. James said he was shook by the incident. It was the first time he felt like he was in danger as Combs' assistant. James said he gave his notice soon after the incident, offering to stay with Combs for 6 more months to train a replacement. He left Combs' company in May 2009. So, I remember when I said that, I said, well, he was saying that the security guards, remember yesterday we was doing what he said a little bit yesterday, and I said, he kept saying he asked a lot of questions, and the security guards and then was telling him to stay in his lane and stop asking questions. So I was saying yesterday, well, he only worked for Diddy like 2 years, so they probably got rid of him because he asked too many questions. James said he left on his own because he saw that he was in danger, so he put in his 6 months notice and trained somebody else, and he got on. He said he wasn't gonna be able to do it. So anyway, defense attorney Mark asked David if he was granted immunity for his testimony. James said he wasn't sure of the details that were brokered by his attorney, but he believes a person some protection from prosecution. So see, yeah, he did. He got something. They know he did. And his assistants testified that before he began working for Combs, he was a fan of Sean John Combs' clothing line. James said he knew Combs to be a successful, self-made businessman who was a brilliant marketer. Okay, but also, yeah, he was a fan of Sean John clothes, and it's also was said that when he got ready to do that lie detector test, he didn't want that to come out. He said that he did take about 2 of Diddy pants, okay? Some of his Sean John pants, and I guess he kept them for himself. Diddy would have some delivered to him and things like that. And he said he would be the one open up the box. He would take about 2-3 pair, or either he done ordered him about 2-3 pair without Diddy knowing it. And then he would take them 2-3 pair and then give Diddy what he ordered. Okay. Well, he went on ahead and told the truth to Diddy before he got hooked up to that lie detector test and said, hey, look here. Now I ain't take your watch. Okay. I ain't take your bracelet. I ain't take none of your stuff. But I do want to tell you this before I get on this thing here. I have took about 2-3 pants from you, ordered it for Sean John, but I think I deserve that. It wasn't about like 2-3 pair of pants that I ordered on top of your order, and I took it. I didn't ask you can I get it? I just did it. So evidently, Diddy let him slide with that one, and so Diddy was asking, "That's all you got to tell me right there? That's all you done took?" He's like, "Yeah, that's all." He's like, "All right, now get on that lie detector test. We're going to see about my bracelet." Mm-hmm. But he came clean. He didn't have nothing to do with the bracelet. Yes. And man, just me, Nene in the house. How you doing? Mildred Lightfoot, hello. Good to see you as well tonight. Yeah. So, yeah, family. So he did confess to Diddy to that. And he said Diddy didn't do nothing to him, that Diddy let him slide. Just long as he get on that lie detector test. And that lie detector test don't say he got that bracelet, he good. Yeah. And so that was it on that one. During cross-examination, Dave James, Diddy's ex-assistant, was pressed about his travel with Combs. James had testified yesterday he traveled extensively with the music mogul, including internationally. Today, defense attorney Mark asked if these were business trips or personal trips. James said there were a fine line since Combs' personal life and business life blended together. He described them as business oriented trips. Okay. Even on vacation, he's always working, James said. Okay. Mm. Um, the defense attorney Mark suggested repeatedly that Dave James actually left D Rock, one of Sean Diddy Combs' security guards, at the restaurant, and he went back with Combs. He went back to Combs to get him. They kind of messed that one up. James denied this each time, testified that it wouldn't have been made sense to leave him there with Suge Knight outside welding a pow pow. Okay, so what the defense is trying to say, that James say that him and the security guard jumped in the car, went back and told Diddy that, hey, Sean Combs, hey, Suge Knight is down there at the restaurant. And then they jumped in. Diddy lawyer is saying, you was so, because Diddy's security guard and Suge Knight was arguing or had a few words, you jumped in the car, left D-Rock there, ran back in the car to go get Diddy. And then when you went and got Diddy, then y'all came back. And he said, I ain't leave that man. Okay, so I don't know. But I don't know, because James did sound pretty scary, didn't the family, when he said, shoot, I put in my 2-week notice after that. So he do seem like the type that'll leave your ass on the scene. Okay? Yeah. Mildred Lightfoot, thank you so much for the generous donation. It's greatly appreciated. Jamal Killings, thank you so much for your donation. It's greatly, greatly appreciated. Thank y'all so much. Just thank y'all so much for y'all support. Yes. Just me, Nene. Okay, she said she's joining in. Hold that boy, hook up the cables like a tow truck. Yeah, hold him. Don't let him get away. He got to take this test. Yeah, he got to take this lie detector test. He can't get away. When Sean Diddy Combs would go out in public, people would be almost in a mob around him, asking for autographs and trying to meet him. Combs' former assistant, David James, said. Defense attorney Mark asked if Combs tended to be, gracious in these situations. I don't think gracious is the word I would use to describe him, James replied. Combs didn't typically sign autographs, James said. James said oftentimes Combs' staff members would sign autographs to mail out to fans. And that's true. I've really never seen Diddy, like when you see him and they going through the red carpet or they're doing something. I've never seen him really sign no autographs for real on TV. Like I said, I ain't never been to nothing he had, but I'm saying when we did see things, I've really never seen him signing no autographs. And this man is saying that he don't really sign autographs. What they do is when they get fan mail, his employees, Sean employees, will sign the fan mail as if it's Diddy and then send it back to the fans. That's so trifling. Yeah. Least you could do is do that. Anyway, the former assistants testified that he typically rode in a second car to accompany Combs wherever he went. James said there were usually a second car traveling with Combs for security reasons. Combs security personnel typically operate a second car to the right of the vehicle transporting Combs to prevent anyone from pulling up on him and potentially deleting him. Okay, so Diddy had his old Escalade or whatever. He had people on surrounded it, so couldn't nobody get to him. So As y'all see, this is what they're saying, that the former assistant's testimony helped prosecutors establish that RICO charge against Combs. That's what some of the legal experts are saying. And that's because, you remember, he was saying he'll go back and get drugs. He'll bring the drugs back. It was one of Diddy's friends that needed some drugs. He'll go get the drugs for one of his friends, give it to Diddy's friend. Then they asked him, well, did Diddy tell you to do that? He was like, nah, I just assumed that I had to because he done sent me to get drugs for other people before. So he is tying up, like, I give it here, I go take the drugs from here, bring it to this person, things like that. Okay. Jasmine Nene, thank you so much for your generous donation. She said, Diddy ain't no thug, boy, bye. Thank you so much for your generous donation as well. And I think if you are paying everybody and then you try to intimidate them because most of them are scared to lose their job and all that, he started to think he hard. But actually, these people just listen to you because they need the money. You see what I'm saying? Like, they letting you treat them like that, dog them like that, because a lot of them just like the money and the lifestyle or whatever. I don't know. But you're right, Jasmine Nene. He also testified, Sean's ex-assistant. He said that another assistant had to go to the hospital for dehydration after working with Combs for 24 hours straight. Was he in dehydration for working for Combs? Or was he in dehydration for something else? Because we do know in the past testimonies that they have to have IVs after all these, wild parties. But anyway, he said the work was demanding, but he was prepared for the moment and enjoyed it at times. He testified there was a common saying among Combs' security guard. You know what rhymes with tired? Fired. Family, stop the press. Combs, now they saying if you work for Combs, if you get tired, you fired. No, they said that was the saying around the Diddy camp, that if anybody say, oh, you know what, I'm tired, you fired. Yes, you fired. You get your walking papers. Because, see, Diddy ain't got time to fool around with tired folks. They get down 4 days at a time. Yes. You holler you tired if you want to, you fired. Yeah, now this is what the assistant said. He said that was the slogan. That was the word. That's what they did. If you mess around now and Sean hear you or his security guards hear you, anybody hear you say, whew, I'm tired, you fired. Yes, that's how that go. Anyway, family, let's get on to this. M. Mac laughing. Yeah, I was laughing at that one too, M. Mac. I was like, what? There ain't no joke around that camp. Now, his assistant testified that when he purchased personal items, including protection, baby oil, and personal lubricant for Combs, he would ask the security for cash from, Combs' bag. James said he was instructed not to submit these items for reimbursement through the company because they were items he didn't want to have a record for. Defense attorney Mark asked James to confirm that meant the company didn't pay for these items. I mean, it's all his money, James responded. So, the attorney trying to put it like, well, they said they didn't want it on Diddy's company record. And so he said, well, then what? He didn't pay, his company didn't pay for these items. He said, well, it is his money. Yes, it's his money. What they saying is, don't come in here told the assistant, don't put no invoice in here that you done got 20 boxes of protections. Don't be coming in and dropping it in the invoice thing, because then the human resources and people like that will see what's going on. They didn't want them people to know what's going on. That's what he really was saying, you know. Don't drop no invoices up in here that got anything to do with the FO parties at all. And if you do, you fine. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Uh so then he said, family, now this is where it gets good. James talked of other, oh yeah, he talked about other items he laid out for Combs arriving. You know, we talked about the drinks and the 40 different products. We talked about all that, was part of that. Uh Defense attorney Mark has followed up with David James earlier testimony that Sean typically had a rider that listed preferred items that should be in a location before Combs arrived. Then he confirmed with James that the rider is common for a high-level person traveling. James, who was an assistant to Combs from 2007-2009, agreed that the rider allowed for Combs to have a consistent environment wherever he goes. Okay. Heinz ketchup, for example, was always on the list, James said. Ketchup was a big item that he always needed for his food. So it was just the consistency to create a consistent environment for wherever he was, James said. Okay. So, you know, they just had all of his stuff, you know, that's what they call a rider. You know, everything that you could think of that Diddy likes, it needs to be there before he arrives there. Okay. He also testified that there were a lot of, wait a minute, I'm trying to think. We already did that. All that, we already did that. Okay. Camaraderies among, okay, he also testified that there was a lot of camaraderies among Sean Diddy Combs staff, that they would often say Combs record label, Bad Boys, was family. So they, yeah, okay, yeah, they family. He said that Sean Diddy Combs' mom always called him her son. He was very close to Sean mama. James confirmed that he felt a sense of mission working for Combs. The defense attorney Mark asked what that mission was. To make sure that he was happy, prepared for the day, James said. So they was, I mean, they was dedicated workers. Combs just demanded it. I mean, he was what, a billionaire? Close to a billionaire? He's not that now, but he still got money. But the thing is, that's their lifestyle. That's what they do. Defense Mark asked David to confirm that he never told Sean Diddy Combs before or after he procured cocaine for Combs' friend while they were on a yacht. Okay? And he didn't, because they was on that yacht in St. Tropez. And he never did tell Diddy that, hey, I'm getting this cocaine for your friend. He said he just felt like he was supposed to do it. So when Sean Diddy Combs' attorney asked him that, he suggested Combs wasn't involved at all in this situation. And James fulfilled the request because he wanted to. James said he viewed it as a work-related task that he had to do for Combs' personal friend, but acknowledged he didn't tell his boss about it. So in this case, Diddy didn't know that he went and got that cocaine for somebody. Okay? He's saying that, oh, well, it was his friend, so I assume that since it's his friend, I had to do it because he have me do it for other friends of his. So when this friend called and asked me, I just did it. That's basically what he said now. That's what he said, family. Yeah, yo, I'm dead with that saying. It's given Diddy in DLR, you don't want to see a bunch of purchases for. Yeah, you don't. And I see that's what Diddy was. I could see that part. They like, hey, when you go get all these personal items, like them condoms and all that stuff like that, don't be putting that stuff in our human resources file. Don't be putting it in our file. Now, this is Cassie's mother. And then right after Cassie, because see, they were going, that's how they did it today. They talked to the assistant, and after they talked to him, Cassie's mother was next. She was real short, so hers ain't long at all. But then it got to the escorts, okay? And then that's basically when it was over. But that was Cassie's mother. And Cassie's mother said that she visited Cassie and Combs in LA in August of 2016 for her daughter's 30th birthday. She and Combs got into a bitter argument outside of Cassie's apartment building after Combs stole Cassie's phone. Cassie's mother said she called the police. We were arguing about the phone. I wanted the phone back and he was holding it, she said. One of Combs' security guard was standing between them, she said. I was yelling, screaming, and trying to hit him, she said, but said that she was not able to hit him. She was trying to hit him, but wasn't able to hit him. Cassie's mother said that Combs eventually gave her the phone, but then took Cassie's car. And you know that they said he paid for everything. So that's why he took a car, because he paid for it. The jury is now seeing photos of Cassie and that her mother took in 2011 in her parents' Connecticut home after Sean Combs physically windmilling on her and left some bruises. Cassie's mother testified that she took the photos to keep the evidence. She was bruised, and I wanted to make sure that we memorized it, Regina said. That's Cassie's mother. Cassie's mother said her daughter told her at the time that she was, hurt real bad by Combs. These photos were first admitted into evidence during Cassie Venture's testimony. Now, they did show those pictures, family, which I didn't want to show them on here because you know how YouTube is, but her eye was real big, okay? Cassie's mother said December 2011 was the first time her daughter told her about Combs being physical with her. Cassie's mother testified about a time prior to that when she read a blind item about a celebrity getting whooped up in a car with no name included. She said she asked her daughter if it was about her, but Cassie told her it wasn't about her or Combs, Cassie's mother said. Cassie's mother said Sean Diddy Combs contacted her around the same time. Cassie told her Combs threatened to release explicit videos of her. Cassie's mother said Combs told her he needed $20,000 to recoup money he had spent on Cassie. Wow. Cassie's mother said Combs was angry with her daughter, was now in a relationship with Kid Cudi. Cassie's mother said she and her husband took a home equity loan to obtain the $20,000 for Combs. What? Did it tell this lady he wanted $20K? Because he been putting all his money on her daughter. And he said He want reimbursement. Wow. And then she was so scared, Cassie mother, till she really did put out a $20,000 loan. She went and got a loan. Wow. Wow. Crook County, salute. Thank you for coming in too. Man, could you imagine that? And the sad part is, Diddy didn't need the money. He just did that. I guess he said, since your daughter won't act right, y'all give me the money. And I want to let y'all know what type of dude I am. If I don't get the money, your daughter probably most likely get hurt. That's what it's given here. That's what it's given here. I don't know. Darlene Chestnut said he put Cassie family through a lot. Yes, he did. Knowing he didn't need $20,000. Yeah, that's what I said. He didn't need that $20,000. He just wanted to intimidate the parents. That's what it's given. That's what it's given. That Combs just wanted to intimidate them. Combs' bookkeeper sent Cassie's mother an email with wiring instructions, she said. So she went to the credit union and then wired the money from her and her husband's account to the bad boys' account. Oh, shit, that is racketeering. I'm sorry. Oh, Lord. Wow. Thank you, Cook County. Thank you. Sending love back to you, too. Wow. That is racketeering right there. See, when you go to wiring money to somebody, and it's almost like she wiring it for either ransom or wiring it so that he don't windmill on his daughter or hurt her daughter. Yeah, see, I mean, and old mama had receipts too, y'all. Old mama kept all them receipts from 211, honey. She did. She was, here you go. Here y'all go. This her eye. This her lip. This her cheekbone. And this is the credit union's receipt that I had to wire. Yes, mama was telling it all up there. I was wondering yesterday when I told y'all, I said, what do the mother have to tell us? Oh, I see. Wow. Diddy needs to stay locked up, model stance on air said. She said, that's crazy. It is crazy, model stance on air. Wow. But she said, did I read that? Yeah. Okay. Combs' bookkeeper, she did. She said she wired the money from her account to the bad boys' account. Cassie's mother said, because she was scared about my daughter's safety. She said about 4 or 5 days later, the money was returned to her account, but she did not have any communication with Combs about it. So you see what happened? They played on their top, family. That's basically what it was. That was one of them street games. Played on their top. They just wanted to basically see what she doing. And she did it. And it was also a sign to scare her. Like, all right, you did what we said do. We're gonna give you, we're gonna give you the money back. But you might want to tell your daughter to act right. Because if not, it's gonna be more than $20,000 next time. That's basically what it's giving, family. I'm sorry. Some of us know the streets. Okay? We all doing a little better for ourselves, and some of us live in suburb areas and stuff, but some of us grew up around them streets. We know what that means when they gave it back. Yay. Dirty. And see, those right there, Cassie people, are of another ethnic group. And now, don't get me wrong, people, because I have all type of nationalities that's a part of the Knowledge family. I'm just putting y'all on game, okay? that Diddy basically just did that because of who them people was. Okay, it couldn't have been no black family. Okay, could you imagine him telling young Miami mama, hey, give me 20K? She'd be like, nigga, you what you say? What? I ain't giving you nothing. But what I can tell you, if anything happened to my daughter, you gonna need about 2 more billion K. Okay? Yes, because it's on and popping. Ain't nobody scared of you. Okay? See, that's how the black people side roll. Okay? So Diddy Bot did this because he know he can get over. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Captain Private. Salute, salute, salute. Yes, yes. See that? Yeah. See, Diddy and them was testing them people, scaring them people because who they were. He knew them people ain't know nothing about no streets and all that stuff like that. Mm-hmm. Yeah. You said what? 20K. Okay then. Let's take this email down to the feds. Let's take it down to the feds because you know what you ain't finna do is start pulling me and talking about you need 20K from me. I'm finna take it to the feds, and if something happened to my daughter, anyway, it's on and popping. I bet you we have everything you own. I bet you that. Yeah. Yeah. Diddy ain't slick. Yeah. Anyway, her mother testified her daughter emailed her in December 11th to say Sean Diddy Combs was threatening to release explicit S tapes of Cassie. This, it was a mess, family, point blank. It was a mess because she was going with that kid Cudi. Just basically that was it. A hot mess. Oh, and then it's some more. The email said, according to Cassie's mother, the threats that have been made towards me by Sean Puffy Combs are that he is going to release 2 explicit S tapes on me. She telling her mama this in the email, y'all. One on Christmas Day, he said he gonna release one, maybe before or right after, and another one sometime soon after that. He also said that he will be having someone hurt me and Kid Cudi physically. He made me point out, he made a point that it wouldn't be by his hands. He actually said he'll be out of the country when it happened. So basically, Diddy saying, something gonna happen to you, but I'm gonna be out the country, so you can't say it's me. Point blank, period. Kid Cudi car did blow up now though. So basically that was it. And then her mother said she felt physically sick when she read the email. The message was sent under an alias, Veronica Bang, the mother said. That's what Cassie used as one of her alias too. The email also was sent to one of Combs' employees, Cassie's mother said. I did not understand a lot of it. The S tapes threw me off. I did not know the other person, but knew that he was going to try to hurt my daughter, her mother said. So that was basically it. The rest of it is just recaps that's down on the bottom. You know, Cassie mother's now off the stand. And the defense attorneys did not cross-examine her at all. Basically, Diddy attorneys told her, I don't have any questions for you. You can go ahead on and get off the stand. So see, Cassie's mother was talking to the feds, prosecutors. When it got time for the defense to say, y'all go ahead on and question her, they said, nah, dog, let her go. And I don't blame them. I don't blame them because it wouldn't have helped them, not at all, to question this lady. This lady would have got emotional and she would have been trying to touch on the heartstrings of the people. She'd have started crying and nah, dog, go ahead on and get off the stand. So that's basically what they did, family. Yeah. Yeah. Crook County, thank you so much for your generous donation. Your generosity is greatly, greatly appreciated. Powder puff. That's what Darlene Chestnut said. M. Max said, give a mouse a cookie. They gonna ask for the glass of milk. You ain't lying. Yes. Yes. So wow. All right, Sheree. Sheree is 51 and he works as a male escort dancer with the stage name The Punisher. Yay! From 2012 to 2016. He was the Punisher family. Now notice that they said that he was a dancer, okay? He was a dancer family. He wasn't he wasn't an escort until y'all hear what happened. Yes, he's a dancer. Dancing for money. Do what you want me to do. Y'all remember that back in the day? Private dancer, dancing for money. I do what you want me to do. Yes, yes. We used to be jamming back in them days. But I tell you one thing, I wasn't going to no Diddy parties. Nope. Yeah, Darlene Chestnut said, I remember. I'm your private dancer, dancing for money. I do what you want me to do. Do what you want to do. Anyway, the Punisher. Yeah, Hayes testified that he met Sean Diddy Combs and Cassie sometime in the fall of 2012. He said he first got a call from Cassie, who told him her name was Janet. She said it was her birthday, and her husband said she could hire an exotic dancer for the occasion. He said he believed they found him through the website. Hayes said he met Combs and Cassie at Trump's International Hotel in New York City that first time. He said he believed he was going there to provide a 30 or 45-minute striptease dance for a group of people. What? Yeah, he said, hey, look here. Cassie called me talking about she wanted a stripper. You know, to tease for about 30 or 45 of her friends and stuff like that. So he was like, yeah, I do that type of work. Little did he know. Hayes continued describing his first encounter with Cassie and Sean Diddy Combs at Trump International Hotel in New York City. Cassie greeted him at the door in a robe when he arrived, and he believed she was also wearing a wig. He said he did not recognize her at the time. He testified. Cassie invited him into the suite, and she explained that she didn't want him to actually dance. She told him her and her husband liked to create a sexy scene involving the application of baby oil, and that her husband eventually would come out to watch. Hayes testified. What? So when he got there, this is what he's saying, family. When he got there, that's when Cassie told him, well, she didn't actually want him to dance. She wanted him to put baby oil and do like a little sexy scene as if they are doing a movie. And they wanted him to be a part of that movie. Okay. Cassie told him to ignore her husband, Hayes said. I was specifically told to not acknowledge her husband, try not to look at him, not communicate or anything, he testified. After explaining the situation, Cassie handed him a stack of cash. and said he could go change into underwear or a towel in the bathroom. He counted 800 in cash, then slipped into a towel, he said. Okay, the Punisher. Haynes testified about his first encounter with Cassie and Diddy at the Trump Towers in New York, said he didn't know the man in the room was Combs. On another occasion, when he joined Combs and Cassie at a hotel, Hayes testified, the TV displayed a message. The SS House would like to welcome Mr. Sean Combs, Haynes said. He was a fan of Combs and also followed him on social media at times. After he saw the TV message, Haynes recognized Cassie from photos of the couple together, he said. Hayes joined the couple for similar interactions, about 8 to 12 times in total, he testified. So the Punisher said that when he was messing around, he did that a couple of times, right? And then when he realized it wasn't no strip thing, that her husband likes to see her gets down with other men. So he said about the third or the fourth time of him going over there, he never knew who this dude was until like that third or fourth time. He said the TVs popped on, and then there was a message going across the screen and a voice saying, you know how you introducing a grand prize. Introducing Sean Diddy Combs. Woo! And he said he looked at the screen and it was Sean, and then Diddy walks through the door. He said, well, dang, that's who the husband is. You can't make this up, family. You can't make this up. Oh, Sam. MX said so the Punisher was a repeat offender. That's what it's given. And see, that's what we saying that wait a minute now, somebody got in here, rest in peace, Tina Turner. Saint Sinner, did our girl pass away here? If so, Lord have mercy. If so, and I don't want to put that over the airwaves, but I'll check that out and see. Yes. That's my girl, Tina Turner now. Shoot. Woo, 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 woo. Yes. Tina Turner been gone for a minute, isn't that? When? Y'all put the date down there now. What's a minute? Has it been a year? What happened? What happened? I works too much. Now that show, I works too much. That shows I am buried in work. And when I'm not buried in work, I'm running to try to do the rest of the time with the grandkids. And then I'm on like shark, baby shark, and baby shark. So I'm doomed. I got to get back in tune. Oh, no. Yeah, see, I messed up. Ooh, child. I ought to be ashamed of myself. Anyway, let's talk about the 2023, 24, 25. Yeah, 2 years ago. You know why they didn't make a big stink about it? I guess because it was during the pandemic. You know how they do like specials, and see, that's how I know. Like, you know how you'll listen to the radio and all they play is that same artist song, and you say, wait a minute now, something must have happened. Either it's their birthday or they done passed. See, I didn't get none of them vibes. And like I said, maybe I was just that I know in 2023, all the way to now, my schedule's always been booked. But usually I depend on hearing something like somebody do a documentary or something like that. It just wasn't a lot of anyway, yeah. So Hayes said he was with okay. Let me go back. on another occasion when he joined Combs, and oh yeah, I told y'all about the TV came on, and he said he was with them about 12 times. That's the Punisher. That's the Punisher. He said Cassie told him at first that she wanted a strip tease. It wasn't no strip tease. No, they wanted somebody to throw sausages inside fish sandwiches. And he said that, she threw him that 800. He said a stack of money. 800 ain't no stack of money. He must have been broke back then, family. He must have been broke as a joke. Cause he talking about she told me a stack of cash, and then he gonna say he went in the bathroom, it was 800. That ain't no stack of cash, boy. He must have been broke to think $800 with a stack of money. Unless Cassie had them in ones. You know how some people try to trick you? Let me tell y'all about that. My uncle one time, him and my mother, my mother's brother, they were sitting up in there talking. He came over my mother's house pissed off. He said that one of their uncles had him do some plumbing work and told him that he was going to pay him for it. He said, oh, I'm going to pay you good. So my uncle said that he went. And so my uncle said, man, that man worked the hell out of me all day long, by 10 hours. And then he told my mama, sis, look at this he gave me. Then he gave me $40 in a stock of ones like I got some. He gave me all 40 ones to make it look like he paid me a lot of money. He said, he better not ever call me no more. My mama talking about, no, he didn't, bro. He said, yeah, look at this, 41. He said when he first gave it to me, though, he had it in a rubber band. So I was like, oh, shit, I'm getting down. I appreciate it. He said it wasn't until he went in the gas station. He said my uncle went in, the other great uncle went into the gas station, and he said he pulled out his money, and he started, let me count this. He said these all ones. He said he started to take off in that nigga car. And leave them at the gas station. Yeah. Buck baby 5. Salute, salute, salute. But anyway, family, so that's the Punisher. Now, the Punishers also said he now 51 years old, testified, that he met Cassie and them in 2012 when he was working as exotic dancer. His first, he first got a call from Cassie, under a different name. We already said that. They was just giving a recap, you know what I'm saying? And said that he was given $800. And after he performed with Cassie, he was given an additional $1,200. Hayes testified that he didn't know it was Combs. That was like the first time. Then because remember the first time she tricked him and said she wanted him to do a strip dance in front of about 30 or 40 of her friends. But when he got there, that's when she said, now she want him to put some baby oil on him and do all that. He went in the bathroom, counted $800. Then when he came out of the bathroom, he did his thing with Cassie. Then they dropped another $1,200 on him. Okay. So he did 8 to 12 interactions. Eventually on another occasion when he joined them a couple of hotels, there was a TV welcoming Mr. Combs. Y'all know, that don't make no sense. That don't make no, that means you stuck on yourself. You're going to have the TV say introducing Sean Diddy. All the TVs pop on at the same time. And the way the Punisher talked, it was about 6-7 TVs in that one room. How do they do that? I thought hotel only had one room. But you remember that they said that Diddy's assistant had to set up the room. So maybe they bring in extra TVs. And they also say that Diddy rents out a whole floor. Okay, so maybe they hooked up a lot of TVs in the adjoining room and all that stuff like that, and it popped on at the right time, and then he busts up in there like he finna go on stage. You can't make this type of stuff up, family. You can't make this type stuff up. But anyway, he said sometimes he'll meet them on a conservative, consecutive days, but those instances would be months apart. Hayes said he always met them at a hotel in New York City. Sometimes he'll meet them at 2:30 a.m. Eastern and wouldn't leave until after 11 a.m. Wow. Wow. So you would meet with them. Oh, that's the freak out. Sometimes he'll meet with them at 2:30 a.m. Eastern. Yeah, that's the FO. And wouldn't leave until after 11 a.m. So he come at 2 a.m. in the morning, and then he'll leave by 11 a.m. in the morning. That's too much. That's too much. What they do? They take breaks and all that. They did say that. Did he take breaks? He said he give everybody breaks like it's a job. They go about 2 hours. All right, break. Get a break for about 30 minutes. Start back. 2 more hours. Break. What? Mother Stack on air. I'm still over here singing, dancing for my. And Max said the Punisher was punishing. Yes. That's what it's given. That's what it's given. Wow. He said on one occasion when he was having S with Cassie, Combs threw cash down on the bed. It was startling, Hayes said, and prompted Cassie to ask Combs if he was okay. Combs responded he was fine. Hayes testified. Hayes was later paid with that cash. Hayes usually received $1,200 or $2,000 after a session, but said he didn't understand why the amount varies at different times. The Punisher, you ain't that crazy. You know why your money varied at some time. Because sometimes Diddy thought you wasn't getting down like you were supposed to get down. When you got down, when you were supposed to get down, he gave you the 2. When you was lacking and slacking, he give you the 12. When it took you too long to act like you could to perform, you get your 12. You're lucky he didn't give you 500. If you wasn't doing, you do. Diligence, okay? Angie RN, salute. Thank you so much for your generous donation. It's greatly appreciated. Your generosity is greatly appreciated. See, that's why I don't like when people act like they don't know why their income varied in that type of field. Yeah, you know why it varied. You got 1,200 sometimes. That's the lack work. Yeah, yeah. You weren't performing like you should have been performing. That was just the minimum pay because you came, okay? But you came, but you really didn't satisfy Diddy. So, but when you got down now and you was getting down for the crown, then you got your 2,000. Mm-hmm. That would have given. That's what it's given. Then, after the first few sessions with Diddy Combs and Cassie, Hayes said he understood that he was hired to create a sexy scene, which could then escalate to a more S scene. Okay? He said each time would start with Cassie and himself applying baby oil. Combs was always present, Haynes said, and he would sit at a distance, giving directions to Cassie about the angle, the lighting, and sometimes the activities. The encounters last about 4 hours, according to Haynes. He mentioned being directed during the encounter, and afterwards, Combs would leave, followed by Cassie. Haynes testified that one session when he was having those S with Cassie, Combs, that he threw the cash down on the bed. We already talked about that. And Cassie asked him, "You all right?" Because he normally don't throw cash at nobody. But like I said, the Punisher, you must have been getting down. And it just made him jump up and throw cash on the bed. That's what it's giving now. But now, family, it is given where it's looking like a little Rico going on, that they could tie in because the mama was wired money to try to keep Cassie safe, and then the money was wired back to her. Then the Punisher, he's getting paid cash, but then he say New York City. So was he from New York City or he was flying into New York City? That the Punisher never said. But I did hear him mention, well, no, the assistant mentioned that they were going to LA, they were going here, they were going there, and things like that. And he was distributing that C came and K mine and X to different people, and Diddy was giving it to some people too as well, doing these parties and things like that. So I see now how they trying to tie that in. Yeah. The prosecutor asked the male escort, Haynes, if he knew whether Cassie was enjoying herself during the hotel encounters in which Sean Diddy Combs watched him and Cassie. My understanding, we were creating a scene, a sexy scene that was enjoyable to her partner, Haynes testified. I did observe sometimes a sigh, that seems to be frustration at the frequency of Combs' directions. Cassie was usually looking in Combs' direction during these encounters, Haynes said. He never heard her refuse one of Combs' directions, he said. Stop the press. Stop the press. A hot mess. A hot mess. Haynes said his last session with Cassie and Combs was in 2016. He said failed to perform and was never called back. I told y'all, family. I wish I had my fan. I told y'all. That's exactly why he was getting 1,200. Yeah. He wasn't performing. I really do think after those TVs popped on and it said, "Welcome, Sean Diddy Combs," I think that's when he then knew who the man in the corner was. I think he was about doing real good before then. Because remember he said he got 800 before he knew who Diddy was. He got 800 and went in the bathroom and changed, and then he got an extra 1,200 after they finished. Right? That's that $2,000. So he must have been doing real good. But I think once he found out who Diddy was, he couldn't perform like that no more. So he said that last time that he just wasn't feeling it, and his Sasha's wasn't feeling it. So it wasn't no action. And so after that, they never called him back again. Before he left, Cassie paid Haynes and thanked him for being private and respecting their privacy in terms of our interactions, he testified. Haynes said he never used drugs with Cassie and Diddy Combs. They sometimes offered him alcohol and them joints, he said. Hayes also said he never saw Combs take any type of street candy, and Combs never appeared to be intoxicated during their encounters. Haynes went on to describe the discomfort of a scenario with a woman's partner present. he was just saying how unusual it is. He said he tried taking medications to help his performance. Yeah, see, he couldn't. Once he found out it was Diddy over there, he said he just used to dancing and just swinging the sausages in airs and bending over and stuff and just dropping it like it's hot. But he wasn't used to putting sausages into fish sandwiches, he said. So after a while, it just wasn't happening. Okay. So that's the Punisher. Yeah, that was the Punisher on the stand telling it all. Yeah. Just me, Nene said Tootsie Roll stopped working. Model that's on air laughing. And Max said, what rhymes with tide? Fine. That's exactly what the Punisher got when he could not perform his duties. Yes, he said he even tried taking medicine to try to help him perform correctly. It didn't work. It didn't work, family. Y'all got me cracking up over here. And Max said, that's Diddy's slogan. What rhymes with tide? Fired. Yes. They fired the Punisher. Yeah, they fired the Punisher. He couldn't do it. So now we see that Diddy's slogan is very faithful. He keeps his word with that slogan. When you tired, you fired. And evidently the Punisher was getting either tired of coming, because he said it was 12 times. He got tired of coming and couldn't perform or whatever, but either way it go, he was fired. Haynes testified that he began his career as an exotic dancer in 1995. He said that he is now a partner of Hulkamania, an exotic dancer company. So he's 51 years old, family. They told us at the beginning of this article, he's 51 years old. He's still swinging his size. He look all right, though. He really do look all right. But see, all this right here throws you off. This throws women off right here. I'm telling you. We don't care how nice you looking. Once you done told us that you basically was somebody's sex toy and you just done basically gave up your manhood, letting another man tell you how to operate in the bedroom. We have no more respect for you. Okay, I gives a damn how many 3-piece, 4-piece suits he put on. He is no more good to us here women. No, not at all. We're not gonna be able to do it. You know what I'm saying? Because there's a lot of it feels like a little self-hate going on too. And if you was an exotic dancer and once you went over there and she said, me and my husband want you to do this, and that's not in your profession, you just dance only, and you was told that it was going to be about 30 or 40 women there that you was going to perform for, just dancing. And once she started talking like, oh no, we ain't going to do that. We going to do this. Now, dog, that's all right. I think I got about 2 more appointments I could have got that I canceled. Let me call these folks back up and ask them, can I just perform for them? Because this right here is not my cup of tea. But instead, he let another man use him, take his whole soul, take his whole manhood, and another man was telling him how to perform in the bedroom with his old lady. No, dog, you ain't no more good to the community. Anyway, you can't even protect your damn self. So how the hell you gonna protect us? Now, you can't. You don't know how to say no. So what good is you to us? You'll go out there and hit anything like you already done, and you don't know how to say no. So you no more good. You throw it out of our community. Anyway, family, uh, when asked by the defense, Hayes acknowledged that at the time he thought he was the only person that Cassie was having S with in this way and felt special. What? No, he didn't. Man, see, this is what I'm talking about, family, about people trying to play on our top. Because once them TVs said, introducing Sean Combs. Now, by him being 51 years old, he is right there with Diddy. You're not going to tell me he didn't know the rumors of Diddy. And once he got tricked that first time, he didn't go home and look up Diddy. He wasn't watching them because he's now dealing with them. He didn't see how rumors of Diddy getting down. Please. Anyway, when Diddy attorney suggested Haynes develop feelings for Cassie, Haynes said that wasn't true. Diddy attorney pointed to documents from one of Haynes' meeting with the prosecutors where he told them he began to develop feelings for Cassie. That may have been taken out of context because that's not the case, Haynes said. Why everybody say that the prosecutors taking stuff out of content? That girl Dawn yesterday said the same thing when they kept catching her and all them lies. She talking about, I don't remember saying that. Well, did I say that? Now, I think my lawyer made a mistake on that. They said, well, you got it in your lawsuit. I think my lawyer might have made a mistake on that. I think they took that out of content. Here go the Punisher, saying the same thing Dawn said yesterday. That may have been taken out of context because that's not the case, Haynes said. Haynes said he never considered himself a personal friend to Cassie. The two never spoke personally outside of the brief banter before a session, he said. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Under cross-examination, the male escort, Hayes, was asked if Cassie ever appeared uncomfortable during their hotel encounter. I did not get any clue that there was any discomfort with what was going on, Haynes responded. It seems as if it was consented. As far as I was concerned, Haynes said. Haynes said that as an experienced exotic dancer, he always read the room to make sure the people he's performing for are comfortable. That's what he said, family. Anyway, it's about over with, family. Haynes said that during his encounter with Cassie and Sean, he never observed any filming or any violence, like windmilling or acting up, you know. He said, that joint was the only drug he saw during his time with Combs and Cassie. He confirmed that Cassie never appeared to be under the influence of drugs when he saw her. Wow. Okay. The male testimony was over with. He finished. He got off the stand. Most likely they'll call him back. This right here was one of the Homeland Security people that bust Diddy's house in, bust into his gate. He said they began their search at 3 p.m. Eastern that day. Usually search warrants are executed early in the morning around 6 a.m. Eastern time or so. But they waited for Combs to leave. And when he left, that's when they went in his house in Miami and bust the gates open. So see, they was watching Diddy. They waited on Diddy to leave the house, because he said that law enforcement understood that Combs was scheduled to leave on a trip with his family, he testified. So they had already got word, or they had been tapping Diddy's phone or whatever, and they knew that he said he was going to be leaving. So they waited on him to leave before they bum rushed his house. And he said basically all they found, well, not all they found, but he didn't get to finish. He's supposed to finish tomorrow. But he did say in that Miami Beach home that they had the water surrounded because his house sits by the water. And so they had feds, Homeland Security, all up in the water, just in case when they bust up in there, somebody try to run and jump on the boat and ride out. So they had all that covered. And he said it was between 80 to 90 law enforcement agencies participating in the search because of the size of the property. The home is about 20,000 square feet and included a main residence and a guest house, he said. The search required the special response team to deal with security measures on the property. And about 25 special response team members gained entry and cleared the property to ensure the property was safe to start the search. They were prepared to potentially confront armed security. Oh, they were ready to go. They was ready. They was ready to do the doggone thing. But anyway, yeah, that's when they bust up in the joint. Yeah, that's when they bust up in Diddy joint, and the jury got to see a lot of the stuff that they had. Some of those pills and Tootsies and all that stuff was found as well. He also said, he said that they found high heel shoes. And he said, because in the closet of the bedroom in his Miami Beach home, this time showing lingerie and several boxes of platform high heel shoes. Young Miami, was them your high heel shoes still left up in Diddy house there? Because they said that because his daughters is in LA, over there in LA somewhere. Who all platform high heel shoes is in there? Yeah, and Cassie been gone, married, pregnant, and all that. So who high heel shoes was that? Mm-hmm. Anyway, all that stuff found in the car and the AR, magazines. You see, they say the agent found 2 magazines loaded, all that stuff in there as well. But that's all he said. Bags, ammunition, AR-15, Lower receives what he said on the witness stand. He showed them the AR-15, stuff like that. They were fully automatic rifles at some point, but the safety selector lever was set to semi-automatic, which HSI recovered from. So he had a whole bunch of that play toys. Yeah. So he got off the stand. That's all he was able to say. He got off the stand, and that was the wrap. That was the wrap. That was all, family. So I'm glad that y'all joined us today. And we'll be talking tomorrow. It's already, kind of late, so I'm not going to take any phone calls. But we will resume tomorrow and see what this Homeland Security dude, it was one lady, she testified this week. She was Homeland Security. She said what she found and things like that. That she was the one that she was the one that arrested Diddy in the hotel. This dude right here, this Homeland Security dude right here, he is the one that bust in Diddy's house in Miami. And he's going to tell the rest of it tomorrow on what all they found inside of his house. They went in his walls. They did all that. So we'll see what he say they got. Because the only thing they really told us was the baby oil, 2,000 bottles of baby oil or something like that. We was like, okay, but they didn't want to say nothing at that time to the public because they didn't want Diddy defense team to know all of it at that time because that was a while ago. But now they're getting ready to tell exactly what they found inside Diddy's home tomorrow. So thank y'all. Love y'all. Yo, this was another great video, Mama Cafe. Appreciate all of your hard work. Thank you so much, yo. And I appreciate you all. You know, this won't be possible without y'all. I'm telling you, I love y'all so much. I can't even, everywhere I go, I always say the Knowledge family. And I be talking about y'all. I said, you know, it's family for real. You know, we don't have disrespect. Don't nobody clown on each other. If they go to other channel, you know, we the type, we spread love. I'm always saying, hey, y'all, check out such and such. You know, y'all will say something to me, and it's just so much love. We don't have all that mess, and it feels so good to have a family with the channel and the family that basically runs the channel, which is y'all, because without y'all, the channel wouldn't be a damn thing, okay? And it just feels so good that y'all help me run the channel, and we run it with so much dignity, love, and respect, you know, for each other. You can't ask for nothing more. So once again, thank you all and sending love. And y'all have a wonderful night. I'll be here tomorrow because I want to see exactly what that detective say he found. We're going to find out what was in the walls and everything, because, you know, they tore up some of his walls and stuff, family. Yes. So, okay. Love y'all. Y'all have a great night. See y'all later. Thank you so much, moderators, and Matt, Kendall, Art. Just thank you all. Thank you for the chat. Thank you to the replay game. Thank you to the comment section. All of y'all. Have a wonderful night. Bye-bye. Sending love.